In 2022, I redeemed about 12,500 in travel using points and miles. Not bad, right? I thought I was doing great. In 2024, that number went to around 21,500. That was around a $9,000 difference. Pretty cool, right? I was crushing it, or so I thought. In 2025, that number was nearly $58,000. And here's what makes that interesting. I didn't dramatically increase how many points I earned between 2024 and 2025. I didn't suddenly get a bunch of new credit cards. I actually opened less. I definitely wasn't traveling twice as much because I was already maxing out how much time I could safely take off from work. What changed was how I used the exact same types of points. And it all came down to one thing I wish someone had explained to me much earlier: transferable points and why they are the most powerful currency in this hobby. That's what this video is about. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Stacy. If you're new here, this channel is all about helping you travel more for less using points and miles. Real numbers, real trips, real strategy. Quick note, I'll mention a few tools and programs throughout this video. Some of those are affiliate links, which are always in the description. I'll flag anything relevant as we go. Okay, let's talk about transferable points. I want to start with where I actually started because I think it's more relatable than most people admit. My first points redemption ever was a Marriott hotel in downtown St. Louis. We had 10 days notice that my son needed help moving into his college apartment. Several states away, around Christmas time, 10 days during the tail end of the pandemic. Earlier that year, I had opened up the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card with 100,000 points, and I had never used any of them yet. I found a Marriott right next to the Gateway Arch, 4 nights, downtown, $0 out of pocket, in the portal. That's where everyone starts, right? I remember closing my laptop and just sitting there for a minute. That felt like a win, a real tangible win. And it was, but looking back, I had no idea what I was doing. After that, I started booking more through the travel portals, the Chase Travel Portal, the Capital One Venture X Portal. That was my second card. Whatever was easiest. I even did a transfer to United once to book a flight, but I didn't understand Saver Award availability yet. So I know I paid way more than I needed to, but it was still cheaper than the portal. I was leaving value on the table without even realizing it. This went on for a couple of years. I was earning points, booking trips, feeling good. 12,500 in 2022, around 17,900 in 2023, and then in 2023, something clicked. I found Saver Award seats on United from Cleveland to LA, not just any seats, Saver Award seats, the cheap points ones. And suddenly I understood what people meant when they talked about finding the right redemption. That was the beginning of the shift. Let's actually define what we're talking about. There are 2 broad categories of points and miles in this hobby. The first is loyalty program currency. Think Delta Sky miles, Hilton Honors points, Marriott Bonvoy. You earn them in one place. You spend them in one place. They are locked into that program. The second, and this is the one that changes everything, is transferable points. These live inside of a bank or a credit card ecosystem. And the key word here is flexible. You decide where they go. The major transferable currencies right now are Chase Ultimate Rewards, 14 transfer partners, all at 1-to-1. Hyatt is the crown jewel here. American Express membership rewards, 17 airline partners, 3 hotel partners, massive reach, especially internationally. Capital One miles, 22 partners with strong international airline coverage. Citi Thank You Points, 20 partners. Underrated, has unique partners like Turkish Miles and Smiles and Qatar Airways, and most recently, American Airlines. Bilt Rewards, 23 partners. The newest major player and arguably the most impressive partner list right now. Earns points on your mortgage or rent. Rove Miles, 18 partners, including unique programs like Lufthansa's Miles & More, Air India and JAL, Japan Airlines. No credit card required to earn. FYI, Rove is a program I actually work with directly. It is one of my favorites. I'll note that in the description. Wells Fargo Rewards, smaller but growing, 8 partners. Notice what these transferable currencies don't say. Delta, Marriott, American Airlines, United. These currencies are not tied to any single airline or hotel. They sit in the middle. They're flexible. They're patient. They're waiting for the right opportunity. And that is the advantage. Here's the honest truth about locked loyalty currencies. When you earn Delta Sky Miles, you are betting everything on Delta having availability when you need it, at a price that makes sense, to a place you actually want to go, and award availability isn't guaranteed. Dynamic pricing means the same flight can cost you wildly different amounts depending on when you search. Transferable points don't make you bet on one program. They let you shop the option across multiple programs and only move your points when you found the right redemption. Think about what that means in practice. If Chase doesn't have a great option for your trip, maybe Airplane does. If Flying Blue doesn't have availability on that Europe flight, maybe Virgin Atlantic does. You're not stuck. You follow the value instead of being locked out of it. That flexibility is worth more than almost any earning rate or sign-up bonus because it changes the ceiling on what your points can actually do. Let me make this concrete with something real. In 2025, my husband, my daughter, and I went to Switzerland. We flew business class home from Europe. Now, if you had told me in 2022, when I was booking through the portal and felt good about that $12,500 in annual redemption, that I would be sitting in a business class seat crossing the Atlantic a few years later in a bed, I would not have believed you. But that trip happened because I stopped thinking about points as something I spend in a portal and started understanding them as something I move strategically. Business class home from Europe in cash is a significant investment, around $10,000 per person. That kind of trip that if you'd asked me to pay for in cash, I would have immediately said, we're staying home. Transferable points used the right way through the right partners made it possible. That was the jump from $21,500 a year to $58,000 the next year. Same person, same credit cards, different understanding of how to use the currency. Okay, before I say anything else, I need to give you the most important warning in this entire video. Transferring points is a one-way street. Once you move your points from Chase or American Express or Capital One into an airline or hotel program, they do not come back. There are no exceptions, no reversals, no customer service call that fixes this. This is why the sequence matters. Find the redemption. First, confirm the award is available on your dates for your number of travelers. Note exactly how many points you need, then transfer. Don't transfer speculatively. Don't move 50,000 points to United because you're thinking about a trip. Confirm availability first, then move exactly what you need. Chances are you're going to need to round up anyhow. The tools that make this step easy, like seats.aero and awardtool.com, are some of my favorites, and they are linked in the description. Use them before you transfer anything. Here's the thing I wish someone had told me explicitly early on. It's not just about knowing what transfer partners exist. That's step one. The real level up is understanding how to use these partners, because every program has its own sweet spots, its own quirks, its own award availability patterns. And some of the most valuable redemptions in this hobby aren't obvious until you dig in. For example, did you know you can use Air France Flying Blue miles to book Delta flights? Sometimes for fewer miles than Delta would charge you directly. Or that Aeroplan, Air Canada's program, lets you book United, Lufthansa, and a long list of Star Alliance partners, sometimes at better rates than booking through those airlines directly. Or that Japan Airlines miles are some of the most valuable in the world for booking premium cabin flights to Asia, and even for some domestic American Airlines routes here in the US. This is why I think of transfer partners as having levels. Knowing they exist is level one. Understanding how each program's sweet spot works, that's level two. And I'm going to do a dedicated video on exactly that, going deeper into which partners matter most and how to actually use them for real trips. Make sure you hit subscribe for when that one hits. But you are starting here. Understand the currency first, because once the currency makes sense, everything else follows. If you're watching this and thinking, okay, I get it, but where do I actually start? Here's my honest answer. Pick one transferable ecosystem. What card do you hold in your wallet right now? And learn it well. If you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred or a Reserve card, start with Chase Ultimate Rewards. If you have an American Express card, start there. Don't try to master all of them at once. Open loyalty accounts with all the key partners: Hyatt, Hilton, Marriott, Delta, United, American Airlines, Flying Blue, or Aeroplan. They are free to join. Start searching award availability before you decide which points to transfer. Get comfortable with what availability actually looks like. Tools like Seats.Aero make this much faster than searching airline by airline, although that does get easier. And think about what you're building towards: a specific trip, a specific experience. Points without a goal are just numbers. Points with a goal become a plan. The shift from $21,500 to $58,000 in a single year wasn't luck, and it wasn't earning dramatically any more points. It was understanding that transferable points are flexible on purpose, and that flexibility is exactly where the value lives. If this video helps something click for you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps more people find this content. And subscribe if you want to follow along. I appreciate it, because the next video is coming soon. Everything mentioned today is linked in the description: the tools, the programs, my blog post that goes deeper into this topic, and my free beginner's guide if you're just getting started. See you in the next one. Okay, I did a little one last time about what's new in tech. This button has been on my tripod for a very long time, and I can click it on and off to start or stop my recording. Never used it before until today. So thankful I found it. And I also have 2 new lights. Let me know if you think they're too bright, not too bright. Do I need more light? Do I need less? I'm always happy to hear any type of feedback that you can give to me. And again, until next time, happy travels.